having a really hard time getting going. Hey everybody, I need an intro for my videos. I need something to say every time to get me into the groove. Do you have any suggestions? Tell me in the comments. Today is a big day. Today's the day that my son is moving out into his own apartment. It is also, however, the only day I have this week with no appointments scheduled and the time to do things for myself. So I'm gonna go out this morning and do some things that I have been wanting to do. Well, one thing that I have been wanting to do, and hopefully that will tide me over and give me a little self-care time before embarking on a really busy time of life. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to go to Lowe's, which if you aren't in the US is a big hardware store chain, and I'm going to pick out some paint samples to use in my son's room when he moves out. And the exciting thing about this is that that room is going to become my studio, and I will document that whole thing and tell you more about it later, but it's going to be a fun project. The other thing I want to do at Lowe's is to look at some plants. I have a few pots that have died over the summer or that had annuals in them that are ready to be taken out. So I am going to get a few more plants to refresh for the coming autumn, which is still a temperate season in California. So I'm just going to enjoy myself this morning, doing some shopping for things that are going to increase my quality of life. Let's go. I will take you with me, and while we go, we'll talk a little bit about my plans for the new studio.
LA County and also the Inland Empire. We'll talk the next couple of days, some rain Sunday, Saturday.
So what I'm looking for is like a dark gray with some green undertones. I love plant stores. Whether it's the hardware store with their selection of plants or an actual nursery, I'm just happy to spend time there. It's almost like getting time with nature. Not quite, but close. Plus, I particularly love this strip mall just because I mean, how beautiful is that? Sometimes I just marvel that I can go to Target and Lowe's and this is what I see from the parking lot. And that's where I'm going right now. I'm gonna head to Target and just pick up a couple more things that my son needs for his transition. I want to get him a fire extinguisher and a toolbox. You know, things that you just should have in your house as you're transitioning to adulthood. I just want to point out this Buena Vista Street. It gives me a little thrill every time I turn onto this street because that is the street that the Disney Studios are on. I made it home again. I have a whole bunch of paint samples, one of which is not quite like the others. And I have a bunch of plants ready to be transplanted, but there will be time for that. Right now, I still have a few hours left of this morning for myself. And you know what I want to do? I want to spend it sipping coffee and reading a book. It's my second cup of the day, so decaf. And I'm currently reading the most recent, you can't see that, but it's the most recent Martha Grimes novel in the series that I'm reading. Well, not the most recent, but the most recent to me. And I might dig back into that book that I mentioned in last week's video about laziness, the Devon Price book on laziness. Laziness does not exist. I might spend an hour or so digging into that as well. But for now, fun reading. Let's talk 3 good things. My first good thing this week is that my in-laws are coming into town tomorrow. We are entering into another period of having a lot of guests in our house, one after another, with only like a week or so break in between. And I am far from being exhausted thinking about it this time. I am actually excited to spend time with all of the people who are coming to visit us. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to get all of my videos done and out during this busy time, but I will figure out a way. I will keep in touch with you, and I will enjoy the times in my life that I get to spend with my family and friends. I can't wait. It's very hot, but I'm up on the roof to do some of my repotting. While I'm up here, let me tell you my second good thing, which is that when I was at the grocery store yesterday, I ran into this little old woman looking confused at the fish counter. And she handed me a package of shrimp that said shrimp with hatched chili. And she said to me, I don't understand. It says Chile on the front, which is my country where I came from. But on the back, and she flipped the package over, it says from India. So I explained to her that hatch chilies were a kind of pepper and that it was marinated in that pepper. And she was disappointed, but happy to know that she wasn't about to buy the wrong thing. And then she started talking to me about seafood and the seafood that she could get in Chile and the things that she made with it, as opposed to the seafood that you could get at the counter in the grocery store here. And it wasn't a major conversation or anything, it was just a little micro interaction. But one of the things that I've been really trying to do recently is to open myself up to that kind of micro interaction. I want to be open to talking to people, to experiencing different ways of seeing the world. And I know that happiness psychology says that having those sorts of micro interactions on a regular basis are actually one of the things that contributes to long-term happiness. The fact that I had that interaction with her the other day just made me realize
how many of those have been missing in my life and how much I really need to make an effort and get out there and get more of those interactions. But it happening the other day was definitely one of my good things for the week.
My third and final good thing this week is this room. It's a little loud and echoey right now, but soon it won't be. Soon it will be my own home studio. This one's a little bittersweet because the reason that I have this room is because my son moved out of the house this week. He's 22 years old. He's moving into his own apartment in his college town. It is as it should be, but it's still a little sad to not have this room filled with his things. On the other hand, it's going to be a great space for making future videos, and I can't wait to show you the project of converting and decorating it. And from this very echoey room, that's all I have left to tell you. Until next time, I am wishing you love and joy and all of those good things, and I can't wait to talk to you again.